Hi and welcome. I'm Mattias, Swedish composer and tech guy. And like you, I enjoy video games and cinematic music. And today we're going to take a look at the original soundtrack from Ark Raiders. And apparently it's been a pretty wild ride so far for the Swedish studio Embark, the developers of Ark Raiders. Apparently they sold like 5 million copies already, something like that. And I also read somewhere they had like 700,000 concurrent users. So that's pretty wild. So I'm just doing the regular setups here before we get going listening to the soundtrack. And as always, let me know here how's the audio and the image and everything. And as the intro music here, we're listening to my own track called the Space Elephant. Just to get going with the spacey theme of today. Because it is quite a spacey soundtrack, the little I've heard from Ark Raiders. Right, so let's get going here with the first track. First out, we're going to listen to Speranza, composed by Patrik Andrén and John Söderqvist of Embark Studios. Right, so directly from the get-go we can hear it's a lot of like building anticipation and building momentum here with those pulsing synths and arpeggios. And it really seems, the little I've heard so far sounds a little bit like a retro futuristic kind of music style. A little bit of synthwave mixed in here maybe. And yeah, really love the warm synths here. A little bit fizzy on the top end there, but I'm gonna continue to listen here and build on the momentum. Really great beginning of the track. Yeah, sweet. Really love that, the breakdown section where we have almost like lo-fi percussion in the background. A little bit of like distracted or bit reduction on the percussion. Yeah, really lovely, simple melody, but it builds and sounds really epic and lush because of these filtered synths that we have. Really love it. Yeah, so you can see you can build a really epic and lush and big tracks just with a couple of different sounds. You don't need too many sounds to make a cinematic and epic sounding track. And that's really shown here with this Speranza track from Arc Raiders. And yeah, it really conveys this spacious atmosphere suitable for the game. Really like this. And yeah, obviously it reminds me a little bit of Vangelis old soundtracks. A little bit of Blade Runner, but yeah, futuristic, retro-futuristic kind of style, I guess. But yeah, really great little melody there too. But there's a lot of smaller pulses going on, and you also have this razor sharp sound in the top region, if we listen to this later section in the track. Which almost sounds like a harmonic violin or something. Yeah, it's a lovely little track there, Speranza. Let's continue here and listen to Red Lagoon. And let me know in the chat here if you're playing Arc Raiders yourself, and let me know your experience with the game. there's a lot of cool sounds in this track too, and again, a very lush arrangement. Just a couple of sounds here, very defined synth sounds, all placed in their specific region in the frequency spectrum. And yeah, it gives a really lush, big atmosphere also in this track, the Red Lagoon. Almost sounds a little bit like that famous Netflix TV series. Maybe it's just the sound. The arpeggio is a little bit different on this one. But it definitely reminds me a little bit about the Stranger Things theme. What do you think? There we have it. Da, na, na, na. There's also some really cool, like, saturated sounds in there. Really overdriven. Really love it. Nice switch. So we have the same, like, spacious atmosphere and the same spacious retro-futuristic style in this Red Lagoon track, and the same kind of building momentum, and I get the same kind of feeling from this track as the previous track. This anticipation that something's gonna happen, or we're getting ready to do something here. And so far I feel that those themes definitely would suit like a menu or a lobby. Very similar to how I perceive the menu or lobby themes from like Fortnite or something. Right, next track, Team Up. So now we're definitely in synthwave land if you take a listen here to the drums. But yeah, I really love it here in context and in context to these other tracks too. Really suits and follows the theme of the sounds we heard in the previous two tracks, the Speranza and Red Lagoon. But now we're going full on here with more of the drum machine, synthwave drums. Yeah. So it definitely feels more like a relief here when I hear the track Team Up compared to the previous two tracks, because we get more melody, we have more of a relief with faster chord changes. So it definitely feels we're going somewhere and prepping up our team. Okay, getting ready. Transition. Beats and guitars. Hi there, welcome. Yeah, so it's a really cool ending part here in this track, Team Up. And that sound in the background almost depicts, or at least to me, it depicts a kind of a chopper sound. So it sounds like you're flying in a chopper on your way to a mission maybe or something. And with that a little bit more brooding synth. The first part of the track here was more of upbeat, up-tempo, more like a positive sounding. And now we have a little bit more, not sinister, but a little bit more like brooding, prepping, getting ready, flying into the fight or something. Can you hear the chopper sound? Yes, that was Team Up, and yeah, it seems like Arc Raiders here is really slamming Helldivers 2 and Escape from Tarkov. It seems like, from what I've seen from the video clips of gameplay, it seems like a good mixture of those two games. And my son is playing extensively Escape from Tarkov. And yeah, really cool track. The Team Up. And definitely a relief to the previous two tracks, which was more like prepping, a little bit more suspenseful and building momentum and anticipation. And here with Team Up we get some more melody and more flares in the music. But still, it's in the retro, futuristic kind of synthwave style. Okay, so next track we're gonna listen to is Tremors. And by all means, if you've played Arc Raiders and you know the soundtrack, you can always suggest the tracks that I should listen to in the chat. Beats and Guitars, one of the best games I've played in years. Yeah, it seems it's blowing Helldivers 2 and Escape from Tarkov out of the water. And yeah, it's really cool. And it's from Sweden. I'm from Sweden, so congratulations to the Swedish Embark Studios. So, next up, let's listen to Tremors. Seems to be an A. Just a few of these first sounds in this track, Tremors, reminds me instantly of Horizon Zero Dawn. And maybe it's because of like the spacious sounds of the creatures in Horizon Zero Dawn. But it's synth sounds that almost reminds us of like an elephant or something. Some kind of animal. Really cool. Definitely a good title for the track, Tremors. It really gives you a suspenseful atmosphere, almost unsettling, because the pitch is drifting in and out like that, and these morphing synth sounds. Really, really cool atmosphere. I guess this is for some kind of in-game scenario. I love how they're playing with the rhythm here to just keep the listener on edge, making like syncopations and then increasing the divisions of the metronome, or that hi-hat sound. It's a really cool little trick to increase the anticipation and suspense of the track. Yeah, some really massively filtered synth sounds in there. Really love it. So what's your favorite part of the gameplay? Yeah, we should definitely watch some gameplay maybe. Yeah, really cool theme. That was Tremors. Next up, let's take a listen to a city of Toledo. A different vibe in this track. Yeah, this track, City of Toledo, definitely gives me more of that like 80s, definitely pure 80s vibe here with that retro synthwave style and the Vangelis kind of synth sounds. Really cool. Yeah, the choir edition here is definitely a really great addition to the track. It definitely takes the production level to another step, except just being pure like a retrofuturistic 80s typical soundtrack. Really love the choir edition. Definitely sounds more polished and it also becomes more epic. As soon as we have choirs in a track, it's definitely going to be risen to level 11. But there's only 10 levels. Cheers! Yeah, so I think that out of the tracks we've listened to so far, I think City of Toledo definitely speaks to me the most out of the tracks. Team Up was also a great track, but I feel this sounds more like a defined main theme, or at least more of a theme, and it's gonna be more memorable. The melody from this one compared to the previous ones, which was more of like a synth arpeggio based tracks. Nothing wrong with that. That definitely works, and especially if you think about the context of working within the game. Yeah, BCH definitely adds a lot of feeling and emotion, and a totally different production quality value if you add like choirs, and also if you add real strings like Clair Obscure. And speaking of Clair Obscure, it's really insane how they got snubbed on the Grammy Awards, while we have like Indiana Jones, Helldivers, and yeah. I even read some composers would give up their nomination for Clair Obscure to see them nominated at least. Really weird. But I guess they don't have any real experience from the game world, the ones in the jury, I guess. But so it's really sad because Clair Obscure Expedition 33, it's really like one in a lifetime soundtracks, or at least, and I've listened to a lot of different soundtracks. Yeah, I listened to a little bit from the Helldivers soundtrack. I haven't heard all the tracks, but it's actually some friends of mine that is one of the developers of Helldivers. My brother went to the same game development course. Next up, we're gonna listen to Ark Invasion. And now we're definitely building suspense here again. So I really love how they've like driven the synths through distortions, so they almost become like totally broken apart and almost unrecognizable. I really love that sound. It gets very ballsy and in your face. So excellent production. And with that little in the background, it's really eerie and suspenseful. Also really cool track, but more of a suspenseful build-up kind of track to keep you on the edge. Yeah, I just love the overall soundtrack so far. It's a really great separation between instruments when you have these kind of synthwave tracks with only a couple of synth sounds and just some like sparse percussion in the background. It's very easy to recognize the melodies and to hear and recognize all the different parts. It's really lovely. Next up we have Leaving the World Behind. So what's your favorite thing about Ark Raiders? And did you play Escape from Tarkov or Helldivers 2 prior to playing Ark Raiders? Let me know here in the chat or in the comments. Leaving the World Behind. Should have a solo on that. Yeah, I love the uplifting atmosphere in this one. Leaving the World Behind. Definitely sounds like you're like lifting up with a spaceship and yeah, lifting off to some epic journey somewhere. Really inspiring. And yeah, always when I pick up an instrument, when I hear melodies and stuff, I feel inspired. And that's all you can ask from music, to inspire you. That's at least how I perceive it. Really sounds great. And I've heard they've got some quite some critiques. I think it was from Game Reactor because they have been using some like AI service or AI on the like voiceovers for NPCs or something. And I think it's ethical use because they've paid for the service. They paid voice actors. So yeah. It's really weird how this stance in the usage of AI, because it's gonna be used in games whether people like it or not. In 2 years, no one's gonna like notice how it's used, or yeah, because everybody's using it either in front of the scenes or behind the scenes. And I mean, if they were open with it and yeah, they pay the actors, I think it's totally okay, because it was okay with those voice actors to lend their voices for that. But let's continue here, Leaving the World Behind. Again, the great use of the choirs here, because it gives you that ethereal, uplifting quality. The divine. And of course you get an organ in there too. It may be a synthesized organ or a more sampled real organ, but as long as you have choirs and you add the organs, and then you have all the church instruments you need to convey the sound of divinity. As we heard with the soundtrack of Interstellar too, with the exquisite use of the organ in that soundtrack. It instantly gives you that divine quality. But I love this track here, Leaving the World Behind. Yeah, it was a great track, and apparently it's leading into the next track, which is called Infinity Space. Let's go with that one too. Cool with that pulsing bass being introduced. Infinity Space here. The first few seconds here give me the impression of again this a bit suspenseful kind of character with maybe an introspective kind of feeling too. Like you're lost and you don't really know where to go. Sweet build-up. Now when we get that pulse or that like muffled kick drum in the background and more of these like pulsing sounds in the track, it sounds more like you get kind of determination to do something and go somewhere, compared to how the intro was more like introspective and waiting of sorts. Right, so that was Infinity Space. So also building momentum here with the pulsing synth sounds. It seems to be like the ongoing theme with this soundtrack. But it is indeed a spacious kind of theme over the game. So definitely suitable. And yeah, I really love the sound selection so far, and with the sparse arrangements with not too many tracks, because it's very easy to just add and add and add stuff, and suddenly you have a mess. And it also becomes a mess to mix a track when you have thousands of tracks or hundreds of tracks. Yeah, so we gotta listen to the next one called Last Resort. The suspense is real. Yeah, so all these pulsing sounds that drifting in and out of pitch like that and fading really give you that like unsettling kind of feeling. Uncertainty and unsettling. Yeah, so anyone play the Army of Two, kind of a good old. It has a few years on its back, but I really love the gameplay, like a two-player co-op shooter game. Somehow it reminds me of the atmosphere, the pulsing sounds. It had a really nice theme between like the loading screens. So if you haven't played the Army of Two, give it a check. Yeah, so we're gonna jump up a little bit here in the soundtrack list and listen to a track called The Wanderer Prologue. And by all means, don't forget to leave a like here on the video. And if you like these streams, check up on my Patreon at patreon.com/Gelheim. I really love these, sounds almost like a granular synthesis with these small details and twinklings in the sounds, the details. It really gives you an intricate sound atmosphere without having too many sounds. And just drenched in a really lush, beautiful reverb. It's really cool, and there we also get that some piano in the top end. Really lovely addition from keeping just the synth sounds. So it's really great to mixture some organic sounds in there from like real acoustic instruments, and in this case the piano. And I would really have loved it, although it's like a synthwave, retro synthwave, futuristic kind of soundtrack. It's always lovely to mix in and blend some organic sounds in there, maybe from a guitar, or play the guitar in some unusual way and maybe smack on the guitar body or something and add a little bit of organic sounds in there. It always adds like longevity, I think, to tracks if you have these small acoustic details in the sounds. But you get a little bit of that with these granular sounds, so that's really cool. I'm gonna add some reverb on my own piano here. So it blends better with the arrangements. Maybe something like that. So that was the Wanderer Prologue. Yeah, so what do you think about the soundtrack of Ark Raiders? I think it's a really nice futuristic synthwave kind of soundtrack. And yeah, I am a sucker for these pulsing sounds, especially when they're combined with these more like aggressive, distorted sounds. The Doom soundtrack, anyone? But obviously there's more guitars in the Doom soundtrack. And a little bit more upfront and in your face. But yeah, I like the subtleties, and it's really also really great for a game like this when you have a lot of action, shooting, bombings and stuff. It's really great to have a lush soundtrack that doesn't interfere too much with the sounds of the gameplay. So then it's great to not have too many sounds like there is in this Ark Raiders soundtrack, which is a kind of lush arrangement just with a couple of synth sounds. Really love the creative selection there, or the creative decisions. Yeah, so finally we're going to listen to the first track of the soundtrack, the Ark Raiders 2. Yeah, so you can definitely hear that they went all in here with this track. It almost sounds like a trailer track because you have a more upfront and more modern kind of drums on this arrangement. Thanks, Iro, for joining in here. Thanks for the subscription. It definitely sounds like a more modern and trailer-like track compared to the other tracks, which are more like in-game background musics. So it's really cool to hear the contrast with a more modern approach to the percussion and stuff. I love the synth sounds, some really massive sounds in there. Yeah, so suddenly it's an EDM banger for a while. Yeah, so that's the final track here for tonight from the Ark Raiders soundtrack. So let me know what you think about the game and what you think about the soundtrack so far. As I said, I really like this type of synthwave and a retrofuturistic kind of sound, so really enjoyed it. There's not too many melodies or motifs, but hey, it's an action game. It's not Ori and the Blind Forest or something. But the melodies that's there definitely works, and yeah, really great work, Patrik Andren and Johan Söderqvist. I think they also composed music for the Battlefield. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think so. Yeah, so that's it for tonight. Hope you had a nice time here, and if you're watching this as an VOD after this stream, let me know here in the comments what you'd like to see next here on my channel. We're doing music reaction videos on all kinds of games. And yeah, just let me know in the comments what you think, and have a nice evening. Thanks for joining in, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these streams. Thanks a million. See you in the next one. Bye.